Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out the Funko Disney Pop Figure 296. This is Darkwing Duck. Taking the old tape measure, Darkwing Duck is not very tall at all. In fact, he's only about 4 inches in height. Now, you know me, I'm not a big fan of Funko Pop vinyl figures. In fact, I'm someone that feels a little bogged down by the saturation of how many they are released in stores. And yet, funny enough, I just recently picked up the Rick and Morty ones. Now we're looking at the Darkwing Duck ones. So I will weigh in the fact that there is some merit to picking up specific Funko Pop vinyl figures over others. Case in point here, Darkwing Duck, which is one of my favorite Disney cartoons of all time. The only sad thing about the Darkwing Duck release is that so far there's not many that have been released in Funko Pop vinyl treatment. The only other ones are Launchpad and Gosselin. Those are the only other two that have been released, or at least according to the packaging. What I'd love to see them do is actually release more of like the villains, like the Negaducks, the Megavolts, the Liquidators, the Quacker Jacks. All of those I think would be perfect fits for a Darkwing Duck Pop vinyl treatment. Needless to say, we're looking at the Darkwing Duck here, which is almost slightly a precursor as well, because I think in November, Funko is releasing the Disney action figure line, and Darkwing Duck is going to be one of those, so I'm really excited to get that guy as well. But Darkwing Duck, really always loved the character, and I have to admit, for a Funko Pop vinyl figure, I think he looks pretty good, actually. He's got the cape and the jacket. Everything that you would see for Darkwing Duck to have is here in figure treatment. I bet the only thing, and I would say the only thing that he is missing though, is his gas grenade gun, which I think would have been perfect if they had sculpted it into his hand. Instead, he's got more of a very heroic standing pose, which is okay, but I think they could have easily put that gun in there as well. He's got that little hat, which as you could probably imagine is not removable. Coloring is very clean on this guy. A little bit of an imperfection I've got right about the sleeve area where it looks like just a little bit of extra plastic or just kind of goop has ended up on the sleeve. But yeah, it's pretty clean. Just look at the white areas of his face where that, if anything, could be a big problem, but I don't see any real issues. You know, a little bit of airbrushing here where it looks like it hasn't completely finished and cut off the line. But I have to say, I am impressed that the headband, the mask that he wears, is actually an elevated piece of plastic. It's not just, they didn't just sculpt the face and then proceed just to paint the mask over top of it. It is actually sculpted as a raised elevation, which I think is pretty good. He does get the black eyes that one would expect to also find on Pop vinyl figures, although in this instance, instead of just giving him the default circular eyes, you can see that they've cut a slight angle on the eyes to kind of give him a more serious look. The hat looks good, a nice sculpt to the hat where it's got a slight angle to it, which looks again accurate to the show. I kind of wish though that a lot of these Funko Pop vinyl figures don't really have much in the way of expression. Have you noticed that? Like with Darkwing Duck here specifically, you can see like his mouth is just closed shut, which I think they could have added a little bit extra. In fact, I think usually he has like a little sneering mouth on the side, kind of where his mouth has kind of opened up. They could have done that, or given him a much more exaggerated expression. But I do find like the Pop vinyl figures tend to get very neutral with their facial expressions, which I guess is okay for Darkwing Duck. I kind of wish that they could have done a little bit more though. Posability on this guy. It's okay, Jeremy, you can actually hold your breath, because that's all he does. Okay, you can start breathing again. It doesn't really have much in the way of posability, but again, that's about what you would expect. No peg holes on the undersides of his feet, but Darkwing Duck stands perfectly fine. Yeah, Darkwing Duck turned out pretty good as a Pop vinyl figure. I wish that they could have incorporated a little bit more expression into them, but I know that's about what we normally would get with these sort of vinyl figures. As a side note though, for somebody who's not really big into Funko like I am, at least the Pop stuff, I would really see myself likely picking up the villains if they were ever to release those as well in the pop vinyl treatment, especially like the likes of a Liquidator. I think if they could do a Liquidator as a slightly see-through blue plastic, I think that would be really, really cool. But as it stands right now, the only ones according to the package that we're going to be getting so far is a Launchpad and a Gosselin. Probably not see myself picking up those ones, as I'm more a big fan of Darkwing Duck and more the villains than these side characters. I certainly couldn't see myself picking up every single vinyl figure, because then all of a sudden my house would look the same as the comic book stores, and, well, I think comic book stores are bombarded by pop vinyl treatments. Still, that being said, I think this is a great pickup and a good precursor to the Funko releases of the Sunday, I think they're calling it Disney Sunday morning cartoons or something like that, where we're going to be getting action figures of Darkwing Duck, Tailspin, and I think we're getting Chip and Dale as well. And very excited to get that. An actual fully posable, cartoon accurate Darkwing Duck is 100% win for me. Today we were having a look at the Funko Pop Disney. This was figure 296, and this was Darkwing Duck. If you guys haven't had a chance yet to subscribe to this channel, hit that little subscribe button down below. Of course, more videos will be coming your way soon. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.